Welcome to the Compuware Workbench File-Aid Data Editor Accessing ZOS Datasets module. Here you will learn about the various options available to access your mainframe ZOS files. We begin by selecting a file in the Host Explorer directory, right-clicking to display the context menu, then choosing File-Aid Data Editor to display a request box. Note that for sequential and VSAM files, double-clicking the file name will display the request box directly. The request box is a menu for how you would like to access your file, with or without a record layout, all of the fields or some of the fields, all of the records or some of the records. Would you like to browse or edit? And finally, would you like to save these choices? We will look at 5 request examples to learn more about the available options. Case 1 is the quickest and goes directly to the file. Case 2 shows how to bring in a record layout for a formatted view of the file. Case 3 shows how to limit the fields displayed by the editor. Case 4 shows how to limit the records brought into the editor. And Case 5 shows how to use existing File-Aid MVS selection criteria. With Case 1, the intent is to display the file as quickly as possible. Uncheck Use Record Layouts, select Browse or Edit, then click on Run. The file is displayed immediately and only unformatted viewing is available. Since Browse was chosen, access is read-only. For Case 2, we want formatting, so we must search for the appropriate record layout. As before, we must choose Browse or Edit, then click on Run. We also specify a name for this request. Naming is optional, but it allows for saving and reusing a request. This is similar to saving and reusing selection criteria with File-Aid MVS. Finally, we ensure that Record Layouts is checked. Clicking on the Layout Search button displays the search box. In the Name field, enter the desired high-level qualifiers, then press Enter. The qualifying datasets will appear in the area below. Locate the dataset containing the layout or copybook, scrolling if necessary. Since this is a PDS, we need the appropriate member. We double-click on the dataset name to display the member list to the right. Highlighting the member enables the View button. Viewing is optional, but available to ensure that the correct member has been selected. We choose View. The record layout appears in a separate window. Upon verification, we close the window, then choose OK to return to the request. Finally, we choose Run. The file is displayed initially in formatted mode. The unformatted view is available by choosing the Unformatted tab at the bottom of the display. This is the unformatted view shown previously in Case 1. The intent of Case 3 is to limit the fields displayed in the editor. A record layout must be used as it provides the list of available fields. The other choices remain the same. Using the same record layout chosen for Case 2, the list of fields is displayed with all fields selected. We uncheck the first box, which subsequently unchecks all subordinate boxes. With all fields unselected, we check 4 boxes, then choose Run. The file is displayed and only the 4 selected fields are shown. Case 4 will again use a record layout and specify conditions to limit the records displayed in the editor. As before, the other choices remain the same. We select the Conditions tab, then click on Select Fields. We choose Condition Type Formatted to use the record layout, then choose OK. In this example, we will build 2 selection sets. The first will consist of those employees living in California and having a tax withholding percent greater than 40. The second selection set will consist of those employees living in New York and having a tax withholding percent greater than 30. We check the first field for the condition specification, then choose OK. We choose the greater than operator from the drop-down list and enter 40 for the value. We then choose Add Condition. A new line appears and we complete the second condition. We then highlight the formatted set entry and choose Add Set. Once again, we choose the formatted condition type. We complete the second condition set, then choose Run. We see that a subset of rows has been returned to the editor. In this example, formatted condition set types were used. If unformatted had been chosen, the location, length, and data type for each field must be specified. An example is shown here. And the resulting conditions are shown here. Case 5 looks at existing file-aid MVS selection criteria to limit the number of records passed to the editor. We begin by choosing the selection criteria search. The search window operates the same as it does for the record layout search. We choose to view the criteria, which can be seen here. After closing the view of the selection criteria, we return to the request screen and verify the criteria location before proceeding. When a request is complete, you may want to save it for future use. That would begin with naming the request. Saved request options are handled the same across all data types. That is for DB2, IMS, and MVS files. So you may be familiar with this topic. To learn about saved request options, click on the yellow button. To proceed to the next topic, click on the green button. Saved requests are accessible from the toolbar. Clicking on the icon displays a menu similar to the one shown. There is a fine line dividing the list of requests, with favorites above and recently used below. In this example, we click on Organize Favorites to display the dialog box shown, then choose Add. A list of all saved requests appears, and we have scrolled to the request just added and checked the box before clicking OK. We see that the latest request has been added to the list of favorites. The list below the toolbar icon now contains the saved request, and the submenu reveals that requests may be opened or run directly from the list. Note that the prefix icons identify the request type. In this example, we see IMS, MVS, DB2, and ZOS Unix. Also note the following about favorites and recently used lists. Opening or running a favorite request does not cause that request to be considered as recently executed. Conversely, adding a recently executed request to your list of favorites removes the request from the list of recently executed requests. The final item in the request area involves request maintenance and cloning. Choosing the Reassign option displays a box containing a list of existing saved requests. The list may be filtered by request type and/or host and port. One or more requests may be selected for deletion or for cloning to another LPAR or reassignment to another LPAR. It may be beneficial to review the preferences governing your session. From the menu bar, choose Window, then Preferences. When the list appears, navigate to Compuware, then choose File A Data Editor. On the General tab, review the options and make any appropriate changes. Select the MVS tab and do the same. There are a few more items to note. In the request box, choosing the Edit Run mode enables the exclusive use and auditing options. Exclusive use is comparable to disposition old in JCL. The auditing option produces the same audit file type as FileAid MVS. At the end of the edit session, the console view will contain the name of the audit file. Also in the request box, a FileAid MVS I/O exit name may be specified. The exit types supported are shown. When using a record layout, an occurs depending on may be used. While editing, changing the value of the depending on variable will automatically change the record length. Record layout cross-reference usage is covered in a separate module. There is likewise a separate module for accessing segmented records. Also in the request box, the Options tab provides for selection criteria options comparable to those found in FileAid MVS. Finally, the FileAid Data Editor also supports ZOS Unix files. Select a file, right-click to display the context menu, then choose FileAid Data Editor. The request box will be tailored for Unix file characteristics. In this module, you have learned how to create a request to access and display a ZOS dataset. The display itself may be tailored for your convenience. Please view the Display Customization module. To learn about the many options available when changing data, please view the Data Manipulation module. This concludes this module. Thank you.